So let's look at the resources and the class structure as it appears on Beachboard. So up here in the top left-hand corner, we'll have a newsfeed. Each module will have its own newsfeed that tells students about the assignments for the week, any modifications, changes, things of note. Over here is my name and my email. If you have any questions or worries, you can contact me via email, or you can contact me via course questions here on the discussions page. I'll try to get back to students within 24 hours. Since we're on such an abbreviated time scale, I'll try and get back to you as quickly as possible when you post a question or send me an email. Since this is an online course, office hours and phone aren't listed here in my instructor profile. Below the instructor profile is the calendar, and the calendar will give you the assignments, the information that you need about what's coming up in the course on a rolling period here. If you want to see more, you can always go to the calendar page itself. You're able to look at the whole month, and here's where our class starts. Here are all the assignments that are coming online and the times they're coming online. You can go to a single week. You can go to a day, and so on. Below our calendar here, I also have a bunch of links to student resources. Now, if you're having technical problems, I recommend that you go to the technology help desk. If you're having problems with content or questions about content, then by all means, contact me through email or through that link on our discussion page. Next thing we probably ought to look at is the gradebook. One of the reasons why I use Beachboard is that students have access to a gradebook where all their grades are recorded and visible for them. So as we go through the term, each of our assignments will appear once you have completed them, and either they're automatically graded, or once you've completed them and I've graded any short answer or other questions that you need. So you'll be able to keep track of whether or not you've turned in an assignment and whether or not it's been graded and what your grade actually was. Now, as I mentioned, some of our assignments are going to be in the form of discussions. So as we go through the material, there'll be discussion sessions. You'll be broken up by Beachboard into groups of 2 or 3. And as the discussion comes up, I'll post a discussion prompt like this one here for our information ecosystems discussion. And you'll be asked to write an answer to your prompt and then to comment on the other answers that were written by students in your group. On the quiz page, or linked to the content pages, we'll see the quizzes that are coming up, as well as the quizzes that are currently active, will be visible to you. You'll be able to go directly to those quizzes to complete those quizzes as they come up. And these quizzes will also be linked from the content page that you get by going to content. So our discussion page, our quizzes, our grades. On our content page, I've got our syllabus, and this is in the form of a PDF that you can download if you like. And I've broken the class into 6 modules, each with its own assignment deadline. The assignment deadlines will be no less than 3 regular course days, and sometimes longer, depending on, for instance, whether or not there's a holiday like Christmas during that time period. As you go through, each of the modules will be structured in the same way. You'll be given the readings, then you'll be given some playlists of video lectures, then you'll be given your assignments, your quizzes, your tests, your activities, and so on. So for instance, here we've got two playlists, the course overview playlist and the Russell lecture playlist. Now, if you click on that, it will take you to a YouTube playlist, and the YouTube playlist breaks down the lecture into individual lecture modules of no more than 10 minutes each that it will run through in succession. If you watch them all, or you can watch them one module at a time, take a break, come back, so on. You can also watch these lectures as many times as you like for the purposes of preparing for your test. The final thing I want to talk about here is these activities. As you'll see, the activities have a special link. Those links will take you to the activity webpage. In this case, we've got our study habits inventory. It's like a magazine quiz that you might take about, I don't know, romance or your personality type or so on. You'll go through this following the instructions, answering your questions here. You don't have to turn this in, but what you'll do after you're done with it, you'll click on this, you'll go to the key, and then you'll use that key to grade your quiz. You won't have to report your grade, but you will have to report whether or not you scored higher or lower than you anticipated. The most important part of the key here for our study habits inventory is the explanations. This study habits inventory has 3 sections. It has a section on studying, has a section on reading comprehension, and it has a section on writing. And each of those sections has a corresponding explanation that explains why each of the answers on those questions is weighted in the way that it is, and to give you more information about how it is that the way your mind works will be facilitated by adopting particular study habits, for instance, for learning procedures versus learning facts, for reading for comprehension, for complex and novel materials, and so on. Once you've completed your activity, then you can go to the corresponding beach board quiz, and you can take that quiz, and the quiz, in this case on the study habits inventory, will be based primarily on the information that's given to you in the explanations themselves. Now, throughout the term, though not in Module 1, there's also a number of extra credit assignments for students who want to earn a little extra credit to help bolster their grade. So for instance here, before our test, we're going to have an extra credit practice test that you can take to earn extra credit points. And there'll be a review every 2 modules covering the material for those 2 modules that you could take for extra credit as well. Again, if you have any questions, concerns, you're having a hard time negotiating your way through Beach Board, feel free to send me an email or to ask a question on the course questions discussion session. If you have a technical question, you're having trouble with Beach Board itself, then go to the technical services page.